Good morning everyone, welcome back to another Beyond Crazy video. So today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I am cooking breakfast, so I'm going to show you guys the process. I'm going to be making my famous hash. The reason I chose this is I have a lot of stress right now in my life, and this meal is the first meal that I learned or figured out that I really liked. And basically after I found out I had some gluten intolerance and some egg intolerance, this can satisfy both of those, but it's a nice healthy thing for the morning. So I'm gonna get started and I'm gonna tell you guys what's going on and why I'm so stressed. Let's get it going. So right now it is 9:27 and I have a meeting at 10:30 to go look at a house. And so Crystal and I have to get this cooked and we have to eat it and then we have to get out the door so we can get to our meeting. The longest part of this dish is the potatoes. Basically I make kind of a breakfast potato. I'm gonna cut these down into pretty small cubes. I'm gonna use my potato cutter, this guy. I absolutely love, so normally I cut these by hand, but that takes longer and I'm out of time, so this should help it. But it'll also make really even, nice, same size potatoes, so the bite is better. Need to wash our potatoes. Okay, so you saw me wash 4 potatoes. I'm actually only gonna use 3 because 2 of them were pretty large. And I'm only making portions of this for Crystal and I, but you could, use more if you wanted to. So. All right, so I said that I'm stressed, so let me explain what's going on. And this might be different for a lot of you guys. Even if you're in the United States, it might be different. I've only ever bought a house in Arizona, now that I think about it. Though I have heard, like when my brother was moving from Illinois to here, he was telling me that, the process was a little bit different, but we sold our house. We are, as of this morning, officially under contract to sell our house, which means we found a buyer. They have given us a price that we are willing to accept, and we are starting with the rest of the process. So what does that mean? So now we enter into a 10-day period where they have time to do inspections. Basically, they have somebody come out, test everything on the house and see, what's working, what's not working. So within the next probably 3-4 days, we're gonna have somebody come out. I don't necessarily have to fix stuff. So the inspection period basically gives the buyer an opportunity to say, okay, this is the stuff that's not working. This is the stuff that I want to get resolved before I, buy the house and whatnot. And so it really gives them an opportunity to, see the current condition of the house and try to get it into a different or better condition before they take on that house. And so we are now in that period. So we have 30 days. We are closing on December 13th on the sale of our house. So that's scary. And why is that scary and why am I stressed? Well, we haven't found and bought another house. So in 30 days, just a little over 30 days, because I think it's November 10th or 11th. So it is November 12th. So we have 31 days basically to get our house all together, all packed up, everything, buy another house and move in. And so that's a lot of stress. The other thing that's stressful about it is the fact that it is December. Well, it's November, but it's going to be December. So we're literally going to be moving, 2 weeks before Christmas. And that's crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. That's going to be an interesting one. But we're going to bring you guys along on the journey, and so I'm super excited about that. I am excited for our new house. I don't know. We have one in mind. We're actually going to see it at 10:30 today. That's why I'm trying to hurry, just to make sure that that is the one we want. We have the offer already to submit on that one, but we got to make sure it's everything we want it to be. All right, we have our cast iron. We're going to hit it with a little bit of oil. Let that oil start coming up. My favorite thing to use when cooking the potatoes is beef tallow, but I forgot to get it at the store, or bacon. So they have this thing called Bacon Up, and it's basically rendered bacon fat that's been clarified, filtered, all that kind of stuff. And it comes in a little tub. I meant to grab some when I was at the store, but I completely forgot. So I'm just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way, a little avocado oil. All right, potatoes in. All right, now we got our potatoes on. We wanna make sure that we move them around every now and again. We don't want them to stick to the bottom. We are looking to get a nice, good outer coat on them, give them some color, give them some flavor, give them some crunch. All right, now we just let these roll and we'll stir them every now and again. Okay, now that we got the potatoes rolling, because they take the longest to cook, now it's time to do our vegetables. So I've chosen these 3 peppers, a sweet onion, and I'm gonna do a little jalapeno in mine. I won't do it in crystals. And then I got some chives to garnish. Normally I would do an egg on this. I did buy some egg substitute for myself. It's extremely expensive, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that. For our bell peppers, I'm simply cutting off the sides. Once you can find the veins of it, or the white things, it's easier to cut. I'm actually just gonna rough chop this, get rid of the white stuff in there. It just doesn't taste as good as the rest of it. So then we want just cubes or squares about the same size as our potatoes. That way when we're getting a bite, we can do that. Okay, so inspection period. So we're gonna have our inspection probably someday this week. Like I said, they only have 10 days to really say. So once the inspection's done, they get this whole report and then basically saying all the things that the inspector found. And it gives them an opportunity to write up all the things that they want us to fix, or if they want to discount the price based on those things, if they're willing to fix them themselves, and then they will submit that to us. So once inspections are done, now we're under contract, inspections are done, we gotta fix whatever it is that they asked us to fix, or we have to discount our price, and then we move on to just everything else. At that point, we can start getting everything packed and get ready to move, and then we have to close basically on December 13th, I believe. I think that's the date we agreed upon. And so we have to be completely out of our house and turn over the keys on December 13th. So that's the crazy thing, right? So now it's December 13th, 2 weeks before Christmas, and we are moving. It's gonna be a crazy process. Cranked up the heat on the potatoes to try to get them to cook a little faster, but yeah. Came close to burning them. Glad I checked them when I did. Continue our bell pepper cut. So anyways, a lot of stress coming, but good stress, you know? I was thinking this morning that I have a lot coming in December. So on December 17th, it'll be the year anniversary of my mom passing. And I have a feeling it's gonna be a rough time for me. So hopefully moving and all of that kind of stuff is gonna keep me busy, keep my mind, and I won't, it's not that I have to face it, but I'm hoping that, you know, it won't hit me as hard because I'll be busy getting stuff done and trying to do stuff for my family. But it's gonna be an interesting Christmas, guys. And I'm excited to bring you guys along with it. Hopefully we can get our house nailed down today. So what do we happen? So what happens? So there's a house that we have liked, that we've seen a couple times. We're going back again this morning to see it. There's some changes that we want to make to the house. I'm not going to tell you guys too much about it, but it's kind of a fixer-upper. There's quite a few changes that we want to make to it, and that also adds to some of the stress. There's some flooring in the house that we absolutely want to replace. Now we could move in technically and then replace the flooring once we live there, but it's a large amount of flooring. And so we were thinking, okay, so if we can close on our house, the sale of our house on December 13th, and we're moved out, maybe we can store our stuff real quick and maybe stay in a hotel for a week while we get the floors redone. I want to do a lot of the work myself, but I have a feeling to get that much flooring done, tear out, the preparation, replace the flooring, all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna probably need to hire a contractor and get some help with it. Okay, so we got our bell peppers cut up. I'm gonna throw a little bit of oil, those same things, and then I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna hold off on the jalapeno. I am cooking this, half of this for Crystal, and I don't want it to be too hot, so I'll just dice it up and put it in at the end. We're just gonna do a rough chop on this. I'm trying to get the onions to the same size as the potatoes and also the bell peppers. Again, I want that nice even bite as you bite through it, but to be able to get some of the potatoes, some of the onions, some of that. So now we got our onion. Let's just chop it in half. All right, just want some chops like that. Like I said, I'm trying to get sizes that are about equal to everything else. In fact, I probably don't need a full onion. And try to break up the onion. We are gonna coat it with oil and spices and whatnot. Yeah, I think I'm only gonna use maybe half the onion. Otherwise it's gonna be too much. We don't wanna overpower it. As you can see, we got our onions and bell peppers. Set the rest of this onion aside, and we'll use it for something else. And we go in with our oil. Also, you wanna get a pan going over medium to low heat so we can get these cooked down, get that oil spread around, and then we're gonna hit it with the spices. So we got some salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. All right, now we just give it a mix, get a good coating on there, some of that seasoning on all of it. And now we get this into the pan. So the potatoes are pretty much done, so I'm actually gonna cook the onions and bell peppers in the same pan. Potatoes are done. They got a nice color on some of them. A couple of them got close to burned, but these potatoes are all set. We're gonna remove them and put them in a bowl, and I'm struggling to do that. Let me get that done. All right, in go our vegetables. I had to heat a little bit low, turning it up to about a medium, and we're gonna just fry these off a little bit. Get them some color. We're not trying to make them completely like limp vegetables. We are trying to give them some color, but I like a little bit of the crunch still in them, so don't cook them too much. All right, let's give those a couple minutes. All right, vegetables are pretty much done. Got some nice color on them. Got the onions broke down a little bit, but they should have a nice crunch and a good flavor. So I'm gonna transfer this into here with the potatoes, and then we gotta cook our sausage. All right, we have our vegetables, we have our potatoes. Leave them like that for just a minute. We're gonna cook up our sausage. I love Jimmy Dean maple sausage. I absolutely love the little bit of maple flavor that's in the sausage. Super tasty, and it adds just this cool little element. You get the sweet, but the salty, and it's just savory. Oh, I love it. So let's get that cooked up, and then we'll put it in the pan, and then we're ready to plate. We wanna break up our sausage, get it into smaller, more manageable bites. Like I said, you want each bite to have a little bit of sausage, a little bit of potato, and a little bit of onion and pepper in it. All right, our sausage is nice and browned up. Now all we gotta do is add this to this and give it a mix. We are ready to add our sausage to the mix. Careful, don't burn yourself. Now we are gonna give this a nice mix. Like I said, we wanna make sure we have potatoes in there. Each bite should have a little potato, a little onion, a little pepper. Oh, all those seasonings mixed together. It's gonna be so tasty. But this is the first meal that I really, so after I found out I had gluten and egg intolerances, I was really bummed because I was eating eggs pretty much every morning. I love eggs and toast. That used to be my go-to breakfast. And so I was like, I really have to figure out something with some protein and some veggies and some just good all-around stuff. All right, we got it all mixed up. Let me plate it up. All right, we have our skillet all plated up. Now I do normally call this my hash, and it is sort of a hash, but you can also call it, like if you were to go to a breakfast place, a lot of times you would order, this is called a skillet. Again, I'm not gonna be doing eggs. I've run out of time, but I do have an avocado that I'm gonna cut up real quick and some chives, throw that on top to beautify it, and we are ready to eat and get off to our meeting. And there we go, we have our hash. Or skillet, whichever one you want to call it. Again, if I was gonna do egg, I would have put the egg between the hash and the avocado. I would have either draped it over if it was like an over easy, or if it's just scrambled, I would have put it on top. Then you put on some avocado, then you put on the chives, and that way when you cut down, you can get a taste of everything, and it's just delicious. So, Crystal, breakfast is ready! And we gotta go, guys. All right, got a couple minutes. It's like 10:19. I should be walking out the door. We're gonna be a little bit late, but Crystal's finishing up some paperwork real quick, and then she's gonna come eat hers. I'm trying to eat mine so I can drive while she eats, and then we'll be all ready for our appointment. So delicious, you guys. Now, normally something else that I do is I will take julienne cut sun-dried tomatoes, and I like to buy them in the jar, and then you just take some out, throw it in the hot pan after you're done cooking the sausage, and bring it up to heat, and then I, drizzle those over the top. Again, I was running out of time, but there is that saying, every day starts with a good breakfast. The hash did end up being like a 3 to 4 persons worth of hash. So the thing that I love about this skillet, hash, whatever you want to call it, is you can put it in the fridge, keep it for up to 3 days, and it reheats really well.
I'm so excited! Is this one mine?
There's technically one over there, but you can have some.
We got avocado on the top. I'm so excited. I'm so hungry, but I am also late for an appointment.
Something we've been doing recently, or I know I've been doing, I'm sure Crystal's probably in a similar boat. I just keep forgetting to eat. We're running out of time to eat. We gotta make time for that.
I get so busy.
I'll drive. I'm almost done eating, so you can eat yours in the car, so you don't have to.
I'm the fastest eater alive.
What do you think of it?
So good. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah. I ran out of time, otherwise I would have had some egg in it and whatnot, but it's good the way that it is. Ooh, dog gets peace. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us on today's video. I hope you found the interesting process of getting under contract for our house. I'm super excited, super nervous, super stressed. I'm a lot of different things, but I am really excited for this new chapter in our lives, and I'm excited to bring you guys along with it. How about you?
I'm really excited.
Excellent. All right, you guys, we love you. We'll catch you in the next one.